What's up, everyone? Today we're diving into One World Under Doom, issue number 6. In this issue, Reed Richards dares to confront Victor Von Doom in a live, global debate, one that could decide the fate of the entire planet. But this isn't just a battle of intellects, it's a clash of ideologies, of sacrifice versus salvation, of truth versus power. This is a story of Emperor Doom versus Reed Richards. And trust me, you're not ready for how this ends. So in the last comic issue, Dr. Doom was broken by Dormammu, but just when we thought Doom was doomed, he called in reinforcements. The Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and the X-Men. Dormammu, one of the most terrifying cosmic threats imaginable, was defeated. What was really interesting was Thor's opinion on Doom. He thinks Doom is good for Midgard, but Iron Man, he's not hearing any of that. He says they all sound like cult members. He questions why they are following Doom. His literal name is Doom. Then Maria Hill shows up and tells everyone that she knows something about Doom, that he is hiding something big. Let's see if we find out what that is in this issue. Alright, so let's get into One World Under Doom number 6. So we get breaking news from Latverian press office. After vanquishing Dormammu with the reluctant aid of Earth's heroes and casting the dreaded Lord into eternal exile, Emperor Doom's hold over the planet has only tightened. Whispers of doubt ripple through the ranks of the so-called defenders. Could Doom truly be the world's salvation? Have they been the villains all along? Even as some begin to embrace this unsettling possibility, the sudden arrival of Maria Hill rekindles a dangerous flicker among them. Hope. But history is not on their side. Time and again, they've risen against Doom, and every time, they've failed. What makes them believe this time will be any different? Reed Richards isn't buying Doom's act. He says, "I've devoted my life to the pursuit of truth. And here's what I've learned. Truth doesn't need to hide, threaten, or intimidate. I invite Victor to join me in a live, global discussion, broadcast and streamed for all to see. In that crucible, let all distractions burn away. Let the truth stand revealed. A public debate, live, global. The smartest man on Earth versus the Emperor of the world. This is about to get intense." And Doom? Well, Doom doesn't back down from a challenge. The notion that a man who once irradiated his closest friends by accident dares to call himself the world's smartest is laughable, Doom declared. Rest assured, Doom fears nothing Richards can conjure. What's really interesting is since ascending to power mere months ago, Doom has reshaped the world in countless positive ways. And when addressing Richards' challenge, he did not hold back. Given our history, I can only assume Reed Richards enjoys public humiliation. Still, I believe this exercise may prove instructive for him, and reaffirm to the world that Doom fears no one, least of all his self-appointed arch-nemesis. The stage is set, the world is watching. Two titans of intellect are about to clash, and the fate of humanity hangs in the balance. The debate begins, the cameras roll, and immediately you can feel the electricity in the air. Doom speaks first, his voice cold and commanding. The terms of this discussion have already been agreed upon. Richards, you will not wiggle off the hook now. Reed offers a calm smile. I wouldn't dream of it, Emperor, but a debate means nothing if it carries no consequence. How can we argue for the future of our world, old friend, if that world remains unchanged? Unless, of course, you're afraid you'll lose. And this is where Doom shows why he's not just a conqueror. He's a showman. Doom rises, turns to address the audience directly. Behold, citizens, Mr. Fantastic. Watch how clumsily he attempts manipulation, how transparently he reaches for what he cannot earn. And witness, too, that Doom does not flinch. I do not bargain for what is already mine. He turns back to Reed. voice rising with regal finality. Yet, Doom not only accepts your stakes, Richards, Doom raises them. I want only what is best for my world, and if you are what is best, then so be it. Should you win this discussion, old friend, Doom will step down. Now let us proceed. Let us decide the fate of our world. Doom just bet his entire empire on this debate. The stakes couldn't be higher. Now here's what makes this so fascinating. Both of these men are geniuses. Both can craft arguments that would convince anyone. But there's a crucial difference. Both can win minds, but only Doom can win hearts. Reed understands this. He knows he's fighting an uphill battle, so he plays the one card Maria Hill gave him, a nuclear option that should end this debate instantly. And so Reed plays his only card, the one Maria Hill gave him. Reed leans forward, voice steady but sharp. I have persuasive evidence, Victor. Evidence that the events of the Blood Hunt, the very crisis that elevated you to both Sorcerer Supreme and Emperor, could have been prevented. By you. He turns to the camera. Let me remind our audience, countless lives were lost. And Victor, you knew. You knew what would happen. You knew how many would die. And you let it happen. It's a devastating accusation. Reed just accused the Emperor of the world of being responsible for countless deaths. This should be game over. But something's wrong. Reed can feel it. Behind that mask, Doom is smiling. Doom doesn't deny the accusation. He reframes it entirely with a historical parallel that's both brilliant and terrifying. Doom uses a historical analogy to justify his controversial actions. He claims that Winston Churchill knew about the Pearl Harbor attack in advance, but chose not to warn the Americans. According to Doom's version, Churchill made this brutal calculation because preventing Pearl Harbor would have prolonged World War II, while allowing it to happen would bring the US into the war and lead to Hitler's faster defeat. Doom argues that Churchill's silence resulted in immediate deaths at Pearl Harbor, but ultimately saved far more lives, including Doom's own family, by shortening the war and stopping the Holocaust sooner. He presents this as an example of a leader making an impossible choice for the greatest good, essentially defending his own morally questionable decisions by comparing himself to Churchill's supposed wartime pragmatism. He turns to the audience, his voice rising with conviction. Doom stands before you, unapologetic for the impossible choice he made, for your greater good. This is what leaders do, and it is what has saved us all. And Reed realizes something horrifying. Reed Richards knows two things. First, Doom's words are an emotional appeal, unprovable, unsubstantiated, a blur of history and myth. Second, he's losing. So Reed knows fully well that he is losing this debate. But while this verbal battle rages, something else is happening. Outside Latveria, the heroes assemble. A shimmering dome looms over the Latverian border, impenetrable, humming with arcane energy. The heroes stand ready. Maria Hill surveys the barrier. Vision speaks first. We couldn't breach this dome before, Miss Hill. Its magical nature only permits entry to those Doom welcomes. Maria nods, eyes scanning the perimeter. That was brute force. This is shield intelligence, and Doom's attention is elsewhere. She points upward. There, 6 meters up. Focus everything on that spot. You'll have seconds before it seals again. She turns sharply. Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Invisible Woman, you're up. Everyone else, fire. Now, now, now. Invisible Woman strains against the closing breach. Easy. It's already sealing. Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, and Invisible Woman slip through. Black Widow talks into the comms and says, "We're in, Maria. For the first time in months, we're about to see what's really happening inside Latveria. What they find is going to change everything." Back in the debate, Doom launches into what might be the most brutal character assassination in comic book history. He doesn't just attack Reed, he systematically destroys the entire concept of heroism itself. Listen to this devastating breakdown. Tony Stark's arc reactor could have powered the world, clean, safe, infinite. Instead, he buried it inside a weapon he wears like a crown, ensuring only he may wield it. Hank Pym could have ended hunger in an afternoon, but your friend chose only to enlarge himself. The Black Panther hoards his nation's miracles, insisting the world beyond his borders is unworthy. Storm could have ended droughts, floods, heat waves. Instead, she terraformed Mars and kept it for herself. Your Avengers, of which she is now a leader, float above us in a private space station, while the rest of us crawl and beg. And your mutant allies, they cured death, and they never shared it. It was, and remains, an incalculable act of hate. But he's not done. He saves the most brutal attack for Reed himself. He turns, eyes locked on Reed. And you, Mr. Fantastic, the second smartest man in the world, after Doom, what do you do with your intellect? You share nothing. You publish nothing. You invent marvels and hoard them within the smallest circle imaginable, your own family. His voice lowers, heavy with contempt. You, Richards, are the greatest disappointment of them all. And Doom's arguments aren't wrong. The heroes do hoard their gifts. They do keep world-changing technologies to themselves. But do heroes have a moral obligation to solve world hunger, poverty, and disease if they have the power to do so? Doom's accusations against the heroes, are they actually valid? Should Tony Stark be sharing arc reactor technology with the world? Anyway, Doom steps forward, his presence overwhelming. Do not speak to me of history. I have studied it, not as a scholar, but as one who has suffered beneath the boots of so-called great men. You gained your power under the old world, and so you cling to it. You have every reason to preserve the status quo. But Doom has nothing to lose. Vilified, attacked, cast out by you and your ilk. Only Doom could change the world because only Doom had no stakes in keeping it the same. He raises a gloved hand, voice rising like thunder. You would never allow Doom to rise. Your greed, your blinding hubris. You ensured that only Doom could save the world. You created the one force that could finally defeat you. Doom, Richards. Only Doom. Meanwhile, inside Latveria, the infiltration team is discovering something that will change everything. At first, they see what appears to be a normal town, but something's off. Invisible woman gestures towards the street. That couple, third time they've walked the exact route. They're looping, going in circles. Wanda narrows her eyes. It doesn't feel like magic. It's not, Sue says. I think it's hard light. If I bend ambient light to strike it with equal and opposite wavelengths, I can cancel it out. Reveal what's really here. She focuses. The illusion shatters. Wanda gasps. What the hell is going on here? Sue points. That building. It's the center of all of this. Wanda, can you get us past the defensive spells? Wanda nods, then hesitates. That's strange. Sue steps closer. Talk to me, Wanda. This is Sorcerer Supreme level magic. Doom's work. It's powerful, unlike anything I've seen, but it's not resisting me. She looks up, eyes wide. That means one thing. These spells aren't built to keep people out. They're built to keep people in. Can you carve a tunnel? I can. We should be able to exit the same way we entered. Sue nods. Do it. Whatever is inside, we need to see it. As they penetrate deeper into Doom's facility, they discover the true source of his power. Wanda hesitates. I honestly don't know. This is time magic, chaos magic, blood magic, elemental spells, layered 8, No, 9 levels deep. It's incredible. The time, the power required to cast this is... Black Widow cuts her off. Wanda, look up. Sue's breath catches. No, dear God. Wanda stares, horror dawning. A million souls, a million futures, their lifetimes harvested by these machines. Her voice trembles. This is death. This is murder. This is monstrous. Black Widow activates her comms again. Maria, we found something Doom doesn't want anyone to see. Patch us through to Reed, now, and tell him we're sending visuals. Doom has been draining the life force of his own people. Every spell, every miracle, every demonstration of power, all of it fueled by the sacrifice of innocent lives. The footage reaches Reed in the middle of the debate, and everything changes. This is the first glimpse anyone has had of Latveria in months, and now we know why Victor sealed it off. He wasn't protecting us. He was hiding his crimes. Doom's voice booms. Insolence! You dare to... Yes, Victor, I dare, Reed shouts. These people are being tortured. Doom steps forward, fury rising. You will surrender that projector. You will... No, Victor, I will not, Reed says. Doom turns to the camera, voice shifting to propaganda. Citizens of Doom, know this. These are volunteers, true loyalists who offer themselves for the good of all. They are heroes, men and women who... Reed cuts in, voice trembling with rage. We are looking at children. He points to the footage. You're draining your citizens, stealing their life force, their futures, and feeding it into yourself. This is how your magic became so powerful. Every spell you've cast, every miracle you've performed, fueled by sacrifice. Victor, you've built your empire on the altar of your own people. Doom lunges forward, covering Reed's mouth. Yes, I am, Richards. He grabs Reed by the throat, magic crackling around his fingers. And I would sacrifice 1,000,000 more if I had to. These glories cannot be achieved otherwise. You oblivious fool. Greatness has a cost, and someone must pay it. Reed cries out in pain as Doom's magic surges through him, at the expense of everyone else. Doom's voice is cold, resolute. The means are more than justified by the ends. Reed gasps, defiant. Then, why, Victor, if these horrors are so justified, why do you hide them? And that's the question that breaks everything. If Doom truly believes his actions are justified, why hide them? Why the illusions? Why the lies? Doom stares at him. Then, without a word, he cuts the live broadcast. So what did One World Under Doom, number 6, give us? A global debate turned ideological battlefield. Reed Richards exposed Doom's horrifying truth, that Latveria's peace and prosperity are built on the stolen lifetimes of its citizens. Doom didn't deny it, he embraced it. He declared that greatness demands sacrifice, and if that sacrifice must be his own people, so be it. For most of the debate, Doom was winning. His words were making sense, and that's the most terrifying superpower of all. Now Doom said to Reed, should you win this discussion, old friend, Doom will step down. We all knew Doom wasn't going to do that. The heroes inside Latveria uncovered the machinery behind the magic, millions of souls drained to fuel Doom's empire. And when Reed challenged Doom with the question that shattered it all, if your actions are so justified, why do you hide them? Doom's answer was silence. He cut the feed. Doom's methods were evil, but were his criticisms of the heroes valid? Should the needs of the many always outweigh the needs of the few? This issue doesn't just push the narrative forward, it forces us to ask, what is the price of utopia? And who gets to decide who pays it? Would you sacrifice 1,000 lives to save 1 million? What about 1 million to save 1 billion? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into comics, and drop a comment below. Is Doom a monster, or the only leader willing to do what must be done? Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.